Hey there, witches. Welcome back to the 31 Days of Witchcraft Challenge. My name is Autumn. Come sit with me in the dark. Another 2 for day. Getting up to the end of May already. And it's starting to get a little warm here. And it's still a little scary out there. Where we are right now, we're beginning to experience a peak, as they're wording it in the news, of the virus. You know, the past few days having 50, 60 plus cases pop up every day, which I know it means we're testing more, which is good. These people were, already living with this, and now they know for sure. It's the spike in deaths that just bring it home when someone you love is compromised. You're scared every moment. And when the people who are around you aren't taking it as serious, you get really irrationally livid. And then you forget to film a video. So, here we are. I'm going to cover day 26 and 27, I believe. And if I'm wrong, I will caption this. The first one was, you have a specific divination tool you use in your practice so that you feel close to. I do not use a divination tool as a regular form in my practice. I've never been one to do readings for myself, ever. I never wanted to know that much about my future. I have done pendulum work, and if I knew where that silly thing was, it would be on this table right now. I'm always losing it, and that's rather humorous to me. I have told the story about my connection to runes. There's my little homemade rune set. But I can recap the story a little bit. I guess, why not, right? I'd gone to a seminar at a university, and it was about runes, and I really didn't know anything about them. And I walked in, and this gentleman was doing a reading for somebody, and just a simple, and he starts talking, and I'm listening, and I said, hey, could this also mean whatever else I had said? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he finished the reading, and then he comes up to me and he says, how long have you been reading runes? And I said, I've never even seen them before today. And he says, because you were so accurate with what you saw without knowing what any of them meant, you must have some sort of connection to them. And I'm like, well, I don't have a connection to tarot, so maybe it's this. And it just sort of went from there. I've made my little set here. And, I have a few books. I'm not a blank rune girl. Just putting that out there. Ralph Blum all the way, I do bind runes, as, you've seen on a few things that I have around here. So I guess in that aspect, I am using runes in my ritual practice, but not as a divination form. As a prayer form, which kind of deals with the next question, but I'll finish this up. And as I've pointed out in other videos, I got this at Yule, and I have been going through it and learning. I do feel a better connection with oracle cards than I have with tarot. I really wanted to be able to connect with tarot. I mean, they're beautiful artistry. I just can't keep any of that information in my brain. And I probably will still keep trying. There's, that little part in the back of my head that tells me, hey, you're a witch. You're supposed to be able to do tarot cards. And then, Spock brain kicks in and says, no, you do you. Boo. Yeah, I said that. And do it feels comfortable with you. I mean, there are bureaus around here that get out a deck of playing cards and tell your fortune. And I think that's fascinating. I really want to be able to do that too. Anyway, so, yes, I do use divination. I love all the mancies. I've done research on so many different, even just so far as flame. And things like that. Palmistry, I love all those things. And I do have runes, I do have tarot, and I have one lonely oracle deck. Oh, she looks so pretty like that. And it's just a part of my ever-evolving practice. The next question, which is actually today's question, is do you use prayer as part of your practice? Not in the Christian sense, but I think we all do in some way, shape, or form. If we perform magic, it's a form of prayer. We're asking the divine, the spirits, the elements, a specific deity for our aid or guidance in something, to see something through to fruition, to help us, inspire us, empower us, because we all have the magic within. I think a chant is a form of a prayer, and we all do something like that, I think. Even something as simple as, drawing sigils is a form of prayer, because you're putting your thoughts and what it is you wish to accomplish into it. Burning petitions, I think, is a form of prayer, because you're putting out there in the universe something you want to change, or something you wish to accomplish, or something you desire. I have this thing stuck in my head from when I was a kid, and it came from a Christian church where I was basically told, God isn't Santa. You can't ask him for a new car and expect to get it. It doesn't work like that. The same goes with us in this practice. We can, when we get specific, it can have consequences. So we have to be very careful, very well worded. Considering all the options, all the angles. You don't wish for money without putting in the parameters and the caveats and being very specific, or else someone could die and you've been willed money. I've learned over time that I can fervently pray. Say I've had an ailing cat. I can fervently pray every day, recite a chant, burn offerings, the whole 9 yards. Some things are out of my hands, out of the divine's hands, and you do have to accept that. It is very disheartening. But, if it's the will, it's the will. So yes, I would say that I do use prayer in my practice, but not in the word prayer. You know what I mean? Petition, maybe? Maybe is a better word. I'd call it a spell, a ritual, an incantation. All of those words, I think, work the same way for me. Even just, as I will it, so mote it be, at the end of a thought process. Or and it harm none. At that point, you've put out to everywhere what you want. But covered your butt too. Like, if you're, I hate using the word hex, but if you're putting something out there that you're trying to combat something that you believe has come your way, you can, quote unquote, pray that they get what's coming to them. But only if they were the ones who did it. If they weren't the person you're focused on, then no harm will come to them at all. So maybe that's the difference with us, that we're very, very, very specific in our wording. We have to be. Or else, that rule kicks in. That karma kicks in. And I'm going off on a tangent. So, there's your twofer for today. Yes, I use a divination tool, not on the regular, but I do have them and I do consult them from time to time, even just to further my own education. Or, sometimes I'll, go over the course of a few weeks and pick a random rune and do some research into the different interpretations it can have. I haven't done that in a while. I should do that again. Maybe I'll make a video series about it. There's an idea, maybe for June. Anyway. And yes, I think we all do some form of prayer, even if it's just when you light a candle or when you light an incense. We do something. That's it for today, witches. Be safe, be healthy, and blessed be.